There are different collectibles that you can pick up along the way while playing The Sims, and there is a guide to collecting. If you're a bit of a completionist, this video is for you, my friends. Hi, hey, hello, my name is Sarah, and welcome back to The Sims 4 for Beginners, where you're a new player to The Sims, and I'm teaching you how to play The Sims. All the little bits and bobs, tips and tricks, furnishing Creator Sim, and today we're going to be looking at collections. So we are going to have a look at all of the collectibles that you can find in The Sims 4's base game, how to find them, all of that good stuff. So with that being said, let's jump into The Sims 4 and let's go collectible hunting. Now we are going to take a look at the list of collectibles in just a moment, but we're actually going to start in Creator Sim because there is an aspiration, or a couple of aspirations actually, that can be very helpful in gaining some of the collectible items in The Sims 4. We're going to have a look at the nature aspiration over here, and you can see straight away, bonus trait collector. Collectors can find rare collectibles more often. So that can be very helpful using one of these aspirations. So we have the curator as its own aspiration, which is this sim wants to collect everything the world has to offer. We also have freelance botanist, which this sim wants to grow plants and become an expert gardener. That can be very helpful in finishing the gardening collection. And then we do also have angling ace. This sim wants to know everything about fishing, which can be helpful if you want to gain all of the fish, because we do have quite an extensive fishing collection as well, which again we will have a look at in just a moment. For today, I think we're just going to have the curator, because this sim wants to collect everything the world has to offer, and I feel like that's going to be super helpful. But let's take a look at the different collectibles that are on offer. So we're going to go into our Sims inventory down on the bottom right screen, the I button or the cardboard box button for the inventory, and then up the top of that tab we've got this little jewel that says household collections, and this is where we find all of the different collections that you can complete as a part of the Sims 4 base game. I'm going to be going through and showing you all of the different collections. We're probably not going to complete all of the collections because I don't want this video to be 3 hours long, right? We're just going to work our way down the list, and I'm going to share how you actually come across these collectibles. So the first collection we've got here is frogs, and it says frogs are found in and around logs, water pumps, and fishing holes. So if we open up this little tab here, these are all of the frog listings. We don't get to see what they are yet until we actually find them, but we can see that we have a list of common frogs, we have a list of uncommon frogs, and we have a list of rare frogs. So we won't know what they are until we find them. So how do we find frogs? Well, we're going to start by looking around the world. Now we are in Oasis Springs, and I am going to have to travel to Willow Creek as well to show you, because there's a couple of different ways for the different worlds. So in Oasis Springs, you'll find this little water pump. If we click on this water pump, it says look for frogs. So we're going to get Bob to come and look for frogs in this water pump. Oh, there we go. So we get this message to say Bob found something, one spotted leaf frog. And if we have a look down in his inventory, there it is, a spotted leaf frog. It is a common frog, and he could sell it for 10 simoleons if he likes. Let's have a look at the household collections tab. So it wasn't the first listing, but it was one of the common frogs. So you can find out more information about this frog. So it says the spotted leaf frog is modeled with cute green freckles. In high school, it was voted most likely to be a rock star. Very cute. And you can see it's just going to kind of chill out here. It's very, very cute. Water pumps are not the only way to find frogs, and as a matter of fact, if you're living in Willow Creek, it's not even a water pump that you'll be able to find frogs in to begin with. So here we are, Willow Creek. I'm just going to come to the park, Magnolia Blossom, because we should eventually be able to have some frogs be able to be found in Willow Creek, and I can show you the differences between the water pump and the log, which is where you find frogs in Willow Creek. It sounds really weird. You'll understand in just a moment. Here we are at the park though, and I'm just looking to see if we've got any that may have spawned already. I don't think so. Generally, if you're coming to a location you haven't been to before, or that you haven't been to for a little while, it's going to take a couple of sim hours for some items to spawn in, things like plants and frogs and even dig piles, which we're going to be going over all of these things in just a moment, but they're going to take some time to spawn in. They won't show up immediately, so you're going to need to spend some time doing stuff in in game, but that's okay, because while we're waiting for some logs to spawn in, we can take a look at this pond that we have over here. Now this pond, there's also one of these at the Oasis Springs Park. If we click on this pond, we've got the option to go fishing, which we're going to again be looking at in a moment, but you can also look for frogs in these ponds.
Oh, miss.
He didn't get one, I don't think. It says Bob couldn't catch a frog. They're slippery. Better luck next time. Let's see. Can we catch one, please, Bob? Did you hear that? He caught one. Bob found something, one leaf frog. Now, very excitingly for us, it is a different kind of frog to the spotted leaf frog. Same family, but different kinds of frogs. We have 2 frogs in our inventory, right? As a part of completing this collection, some of the rarer frogs, you've actually got to breed frogs in order to discover them. So I don't know which frogs you breed to make what. So because we do have 2 frogs in our inventory, a leaf frog and a spotted leaf frog, we're going to breed these frogs and see if we can find a different kind of frog. So we're going to click on one of the frogs in our inventory. We've got breed frog with, and it's going to give us the other frog as the option. So this time we did not get a new kind of frog, but we did get another spotted leaf frog. Here we have a log though. A log has spawned in. So in Willow Creek and in a majority of the worlds, if you happen to buy other expansion packs or game packs that come with other worlds, the majority of the ways to find frogs are gonna look like this log. I believe it really is only in Oasis Springs that you have the water pump. So if we click on this log, we have a look for frogs.
Ho ho!
Oh, interesting. He found a surfer leaf frog this time. It is an uncommon one. Our first uncommon frog. Fantastic. Wow. Oh my goodness, you guys. I have just found the absolute most amazing graphic. I'm going to link this in the pinned comment down below, but I'm going to show you this graphic as well. A massive thank you to Fluff HQ on Reddit. They have this amazing cheat sheet to find all the different variants of frogs and what you need to breed them with. If we have a look at all of the different frogs that we are seeing here on this screen, you'll see that some of them are striped frogs, some of them are spotted frogs, some of them are surfer frogs, and some of them are whirl frogs, okay? If we have a look at the top of this chart, we've got the little graphics for showing a striped frog, a spotted frog, a surf frog, and a whirl frog. So heading back down to the sunflower section, if we wanted to breed a tiger frog, we would need any other striped frog. So that could be a striped heart frog, a striped eggplant frog, a striped dirt frog, or a striped leaf frog. And we would also need a sunflower frog. If we bred a sunflower frog with any of the before mentioned striped frogs, we would then get a tiger frog. And if we wanted to create a whirly flower frog, we would need to have either a hypno frog, a dirt whirl frog, an eggplant whirl frog, or a bullseye frog, and a sunflower frog to breed together to make a whirly flower frog. I hope that you're gonna understand what I mean. I would just recommend finding all of the common frogs that you can find, right? And once you've found all of the common frogs, take a look at this graph and see if you can breed them with any of the other common frogs to find an uncommon frog or to find a rare frog. That's gonna be the way to do it.
A little while later.
Alright, I'm going to give breeding a frog another try. I've got the striped heart frog. I'm going to try once again with the leaf frog to breed. Okay, let's do it. We did it! It worked this time! We got a heart frog, which is a new one to us, right? The heart frog. Thanks to its brilliant colouring, the heart frog has been given as a token of affection for years. Wow, so we successfully bred a striped heart frog with a leaf frog to get a standard heart frog. The other option with that is that we could have also gotten a striped leaf frog. So go through and just try breeding all the frogs with each other and seeing what frogs you can get as part of the collectibles. So the next collectibles tab that we have here is the gardening tab. It says gardening plants and fruits can be grown, spliced, or sometimes found out in the wild. So let's take a look. We have found 13 of the 32 base game plants that can be found, and some of these are really interesting. You'll be recognizing the majority of these from our garden we have at home. Just by planting the seeds that we found at home, by picking things from the neighborhood around us, we have found some basil, some bluebells, carrots, chrysanthemums, mushrooms, sage, spinach, roses, onions, cherries, strawberries, tomatoes. Everything that we have found here is either common or uncommon, except for this weird thing over here. This is a cowplant berry. The cowplant berry is a rare berry, as you'll see here. It says a plantable, strangely bovine fruit. If you're not familiar, there is a creature throughout the Sims franchise called the cowplant. It began in The Sims 2. It is very beloved, the cowplant. And if you plant the cowplant berry, it will grow into a cowplant. And it literally is exactly what it sounds like. It is a plant that is a cow as well. The cow plant, you've got to take care of it like any other plant, but the cow plant can be a little bit deadly as well. If you don't feed a cow plant, I think it's after 12 hours, maybe it's after 24, I'm not sure from memory, but it will spit out a piece of enticing chocolate cake. And if a silly sim tries to eat that chocolate cake that the cow plant has spat out, it's gonna get eaten by the cow plant. Being eaten by the cow plant is not always fatal, but it can be fatal. So it's just very interesting, right? There was talk before about gardening plants and fruits can be grown spliced or sometimes found out in the wild. So as a part of the gardening skill, you're gonna have the ability to splice different plants together to create a new plant. We are still here at the park in Willow Creek, so I can show you what they mean about finding plants out in the wild. So if we have a look, this is a plant over here. This is an apple tree that hasn't grown yet, which is a shame because I do need to find apples. Anyway, having a look over here, we have this plant, which is the snapdragon flower plant. It's almost ready to be harvested. That's totally fine. With that being said, let's have a look at some other places. We can maybe have a look at the Oasis Springs Park. All right, here we are at the Oasis Springs Park. Now here is the pond that we can go fishing at and looking for frogs at, like I mentioned before, but we are here to have a look at plants. And straight away over here I can see we have a lemon tree. Now I don't believe we've found lemons as part of our collection yet. No, we have not. So let's go to this lemon tree and we can harvest the lemons. Let's do that. There we go. So we've just got 10 lemons from that lemon tree. And if we have a look at the household collections now, you can see we got lemon, which is a common fruit, but it is a sour citrus fruit. Fantastic. Oh, are these daisies? Yes, we've got some daisies. We can collect some daisies because we haven't found daisies yet either. If you need to find some plants, go to the parks. The parks have so many different plants that you may not have found in the world around you or through seed packets. So head to the parks and see what you can find. And then once you've found all of the things from parks, all of the different plants from parks, you might have to experiment with splicing once your gardening level gets high enough. We've got some carrots over here. This is what I mean. So many different kinds of plants at the parks. It's amazing. More blackberry bushes. Fantastic. That's all of the plants that we can find here at the Oasis Springs Park, but we found a couple that we didn't have before. Fantastic. With that being said, let's go home because like I mentioned, a lot of the gardening that we are going to be able to do is at home, especially when it comes to things like splicing plants together. In our garden, we have tomatoes, we have strawberries, we have chrysanthemum flowers, we have some cherries, a cherry tree here. We have some mushrooms, we've got some carrots, we've got some spinach, and we do have some onions as well. Fantastic. Aha, here we go. So reaching level 5 of the gardening skill, we get this message that says, Natalie can now take cuttings and graft to create hybrid plants. She can also mentor others in gardening. And that's what we're talking about, grafting to make new plants, splicing them together. Interesting. I'm going to get another planter box, right? Maybe I'll get another one of the big planter boxes here. And we're going to do exactly that, my friends. Now, I don't know what fruits we need to splice together to create new fruits is the issue. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. I have to say an amazing thank you to Fluff HQ once again for making this incredible grafting cheat sheet. Amazing. It shows you all of the different fruits and vegetables and flowers that you need to graft together to be able to create the rare fruits, veggies, flowers. There is one basic thing when it comes to the gardening collectibles that I haven't even mentioned yet, and it's all about buying seeds, right? That's really how I feel you should start the gardening skill and the gardening collectibles is by purchasing seeds and see what you get from seed packets, right? So if we come to our Sims computer here, we go through and till we see the order screen, we have the purchase seeds button here, and here you can buy starter flowers, starter fruits, starter herbs, and starter vegetables. So they cost 35 simoleons each. So I'm going to buy one of those packets. That has now gone into Natalie's inventory, as you can see here. If we click on that, we can open the seed packet, and we got some bluebells. With bluebells and strawberries, we can graft to make a grape plant, and that's really exciting. So what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to get Natalie to come and plant this bluebell flower in the ground. Very exciting. Let's get her to water that as well. We can have some grapes. That's going to be so fun. While we're waiting for it to grow, we're going to take a look at our strawberry bush. We can take a cutting. It says, snip a sample of one plant to graft onto another and watch what grows. So we're going to take a cutting of this strawberry bush. If we have a look in Natalie's inventory though, here we have our spliced garden shoot, and it says plant shoot taken from strawberries.
The next day,
our bluebell plant has finished growing. So now, if I click on the bluebell plant, if we go graft, it says attaching shoots from other plants will allow different things to blossom. So I'm going to graft our spliced garden shoot from our strawberry onto the bluebell plant. I've literally never done this before, so this is really cool for me. There we go. We got an achievement for that as well. Splice of life. Unlock a new plant type through grafting. I haven't even talked about achievements yet, but I want to. That will be later on in the video because that is a whole other side to this collectible stuff, right? But there we go. We grafted, and here we go. Now it says spliced plant, bluebell, grape, and strawberry. Interesting.
24 hours later.
Oh, do you see what we've got going on down here? We've got some bluebell flowers, we've got some strawberries, and down the bottom here we've got some grapes. So if I harvest all of the things from this plant, we should have some strawberries, some bluebells, and some grapes that I can then plant the grapes to make my own dedicated grape plant. Let's take a look. There we go. We got 2 strawberries, 7 bluebells, and 1 grape. Plant the grape. That's really cool. So that is how splicing works. You put the pieces together until you find the fruit that you're after, and then you can plant that fruit or vegetable or flower to make its own special plant. And there we go. Now we're going to have a grapevine. That is so cool. You are going to need to do some splicing and some grafting in order to get some of the fruits, veggies, and flowers, and even some herbs, I think, as well. If you have a look at that graphic that I found, it's going to tell you exactly what you need to splice to get some of the harder to find rare, uncommon plants for the gardening collections. We're actually going to talk about the next few collections all at once, okay? We're going to look at the MySims trophies, the medals, the crystals, and the elements all together, because if we look in the world around us or go to parks and have a look around the park, we're going to find dig piles, like these little mounds of rock, and we're going to find things in those mounds of rock. The MySims trophy says MySims trophies can be dug up from rock piles. Rarer trophies may require a map. We're also hopefully going to find some medals, which says medals can be dug up from rock piles. There's 20 different medals that we can find from rock piles. There's also crystals that can be dug up from rock piles. There's 20 different crystals, and there's also elements. Elements can be ordered from the Geo Council by sending them medals and crystals. So you can only get elements by finding medals and crystals and sending them off. With that being said, the world around us, let me show you what a dig pile looks like, my friends. Well, I mean, we have some piles that look like this, right? That is technically a dig pile as well. Oh, we found a time capsule. So if you see any of those little piles of dirt on the ground, check it out. You might find a time capsule. It says it's always fun to open a time capsule and catch glimpses of times past. These time capsules are what MySims come in. So we're going to open this time capsule, open it up. And there we go, we found Gonk, who is a common MySims character trophy. This little pile of rocks that we see here, you're going to find multiple different kinds of these. They're all going to look slightly different depending on what they contain. This is one that contains a fossil. Did we even talk about fossils before? No, we didn't even talk about fossils. Stones can be dug up from rock piles. Fossils can then be excavated from these stones. So this is another one we're going to look at right now because this particular rock mound is going to have a fossil inside. I can tell by how it looks. So we're going to dig that up. Too exciting. And these will spawn every single day in the world around your Sims. So it's always good to have a look in the world around your Sims before heading to the parks because more will be found in the parks as well.
Ah.
And there we go. It says, Bob found a piece of limestone. It should have a fossil inside. Now, if you break open a fossil, sometimes they can break and be only worth 10 simoleons. But let's open this fossil and see what we can find. Extract the fossil. We got 2. That's amazing. I think this is a glitch. You're only supposed to get 1. So we got a prehistoric bird and we got a fossilized sim hand. So we got a common one and an uncommon one. I don't think you need to do anything extra to find rare fossils. You just find these rock piles that are going to have the fossil symbol on it and you might just find a rare one. So once you've explored the world around your sim and gone through all of the dig piles like the dirt mounds and the rock piles, you can then head to a park because there's going to be so many at the park. So let's go back to the Desert Bloom Park and let's see, hopefully we can find some metals and some crystals here. Okay, this little rock pile is different to the other one. You'll see the fossil one had the weird symbol on top and the bones sticking out of it. This one has like little speckled bits. This is going to have a metal in here. We're going to dig this one. All of the rock piles that contain metals are going to look like this. They're going to be a bit speckled. It might also contain a MySims trophy time capsule and it might also contain a treasure map. We did talk briefly before about treasure maps in regards to MySims. Some MySims, some of the rare ones you have to find using a treasure map. So if you find a treasure map, you know you're going to be able to get yourself a rare MySims trophy. It was indeed another MySims trophy. Totally fine. I have found another rock pile that looks like it's going to contain a medal. Will we get our first medal this time? That would be great. Let's do it. We did get our first medal. It's Sadnum. Sadnum is a rare one. For our first medal, we got a rare one. That's really cool. So Sadnum is a soft, malleable metal that is typically found in a blue state and is as rare as a unicorn's tear. Well, did we just find the most rare metal immediately? I love that. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Here is one that looks like it contains a crystal. You'll see all these little crystals jutting out of the rock. That's how you know that it might contain a crystal. We did find a crystal. We found a Simonite. It is an uncommon crystal for our first crystal. Fantastic. Now, just while we're here up in this section of the Oasis Springs Park, you may notice that there's this weird little boarded up cave section. It's right up at the back of the park. Like if we come all the way down, this is the front of the park over here. You walk all the way up the back past the fishing spots and up to this little area here. Coming in here requires handiness skill level 10. I have a separate video going over all of the hidden locations in The Sims 4 and this is one of them. Inside this hidden location, you can go fishing in there. You can find other collectibles in there, other crystals and metals in there. You might be able to find some rarer crystals in there. So it's worth getting to handiness skill level 10. But I'm not going to show you that in this video. I'm going to link in the pinned comment the video of me showing you all of the hidden worlds of The Sims 4 and how to get there in the pinned comment down below. Check that out. It's an old video, but it was a fun one and it's a good one. It's a very helpful one. There is also a hidden area in Willow Creek as well, but I'll tell you more about that in that video. So go and check it out if you're interested after finishing this one. We finally dug up a treasure map. You guys have no freaking idea how long I have been trying to dig up a treasure map for. It says an old worn roll of paper with cryptic markings smudged with dirt. It might be a good idea to keep this in your Sims inventory before they start digging. So now we've got that in our pocket. We do have a pile of rock over here. It's supposed to be a fossil, but if I click on it, now not only do I have the dig option, I have dig for treasure. It's going to use our treasure map, but it's going to give us a capsule that'll hopefully have a rare MySims trophy inside. Fingers crossed it's a really good rare one. That would be great. Thanks. It is Zombie Carl being a rare MySims character. Poor Carl. Things have only gotten worse for him since he died. He spends a lot of his time wondering what he's actually accomplished and basically having an afterlife crisis. Kind of reminds me of Jack Skellington, right? He's probably the only rare one we're going to find because it took me like 2 hours to find a treasure map. I'm not even joking. I wish I was. Anyway. All right. So we've taken a look at the metals collection, a brief look at the metals collection, the crystals collection, and the fossil collection as well. But we need to use the crystals and the metals that we find to complete the elements collection. Elements can be ordered from the Geo Council by sending them metals and crystals. So in order to complete the elements collection, we're going to need to send our metals and our crystals off in the mail. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to maybe, I don't want to part with our Sadnum because it's a rare one, but I think I'm going to have to, right? We know that we've got the Sadnum. I am going to send it to the Geo Council and hopefully we'll get an element in return from it. The sample has been sent to the National Sim Geological Council for elemental isolation. Expect your isolated elements to be mailed to you in the next day or so. Fantastic. Why don't we do it for all of them then? We're going to send all of our metals and all of our crystals as well to the Geo Council and we'll see what elements we get from them, right?
The following day.
All right, having a look at our mailbox though, we should have some elements in the mail, right? Because they should be sent back to us by now. So get the mail, Bob, and we'll see what elements we've got. Oh, exciting. It says, congratulations on starting your element collection. To really show them off, consider purchasing an elemental display rack. Okay, no worries. We can do that because we've got some elements. We've collected 5 different elements. So we've got Fozone, Gooblek, Ozonate, Celium, and we've got Sydralin. All of them were common, even the one that came from the rare Sadnum. Well, no worries then. That's okay. It's fine. So here is that elemental display rack. I'm going to chuck it outside on our porch here. Why not? Let's chuck it there and we should be able to grab these elements, drag them over, and you see they're going to fill up the slots. Wow, look, this is our elemental display rack. That's fascinating. This one looks like a piece of cheese, Ozonate. I don't think there's any extra that we have to do. You just have to keep sending in your metals and your crystals to be assessed by the Geo Council and they'll send back the elements to you. So that's the elements all sorted. Hey, did you know that 71% of you watching right now are not subscribed to my channel? If you'd like to see some fun Sims build videos, some creator sim videos, some Sims challenges, and even some gameplay of The Sims past, then hit the subscribe button and become a member of my wonderful little community of Triceratops. With that being said, let's get back to the video. The next collection that we have though is postcards. Postcards can be requested from pen pals made on the computer. I have literally never done this before. Socialize maybe, in socialize. There we go, find a pen pal. We're gonna do this, Bob. Find a pen pal. I've posted on the pen pal forums. Now to wait and see if anyone responds. Okay, no worries. We can buy this corkboard that we can hang up on the wall. Bunch of Pals postcard corkboard. Here it is. I'm going to put it above the computer. Any postcards that we collect, we can stick on the corkboard. Super fun.
The next morning.
Have we got a reply to our pen pal?
Ooh.
It sounds like it. My new pen pal lives in Twinbrook. I've always been curious about their swamps. Twinbrook, that rings a bell. Was that a Sims 3 world? Now that we have a pen pal, that's exciting. We can write a letter to Twinbrook. We can now ask for a postcard from Twinbrook. Please, my guy, Bob, I need to get this postcard. Let's do it. There we go. We've sent it away and hopefully it'll come in the mail tomorrow. That would be lovely.
Tomorrow.
All right, do we have a postcard in the mail from our pen pal? Let's see. We do. We've got 2. Let's take a look. We can pop it on our corkboard. Thinking of you from Twinbrook, where style is invented. Fantastic. I love that. So from what I know, it's all about having the pen pals from different locations. So if we go socialize and find a pen pal, let's see. We can ask for a postcard from Appaloosa Plains, please. Let's do that. I want this postcard for our corkboard. Just because I'd like to have a different one so I can show you the difference in them. We got an Appaloosa Plains postcard. Let's put it on the corkboard and let's go inside the office and take a look. Look, there's our Appaloosa Plains postcard that we've put on the cork board. Super nice. So that is how you go about the collection. The next collectible on the list is microscope prints. Microscope prints are found by using the microscope. Okay, no worries. There's 12 different ones to collect. There we go. Pop it over here up on the footpath, and maybe we'll get Natalie to do this. Natalie, we do have a plant sample here. I got a little sample from, I think, the chrysanthemum flower bush that we have. And it says a microscopic slide from an organic sample collected from a plant. I'm going to try analyzing that. Analyze samples for a chance to capture the beauty of the natural world. This massive freaking microscope. That's kind of amazing, actually, even though it's way too big, but it's fine. I kind of love it still. Natalie's meticulous research has finally yielded spectacular results. A print of her discovery has been added to her inventory, and it has. Rhapsody in Blue. Let's have a look at this print. Wow! Oh, that's so pretty. What a beautifully unique way to decorate the house. I mean, you've got to have the massive microscope and like samples to analyze in order to get it, but that is such a unique print. I want to get more samples and see what we can find. Maybe I'll get a sample from our cherry tree. Oh, we've got another one. Blemish Blossom. Okay, let's move up Rhapsody in Blue and take a look at... Oh, Blemish Blossom is huge! And also really pretty. Okay, no worries. This one's an uncommon one. Oh, okay, hold on. I've just done a little bit of research. Apparently, we can just get these prints by also using the microscope. And we can also get it by using fossil samples and crystal samples. Well, I've got plenty of fossils and crystals in here, so I'm going to maybe give some duplicates of the fossils that we've got to see if we can get some different prints. Oh, this is exciting. I'm excited about this one. And we've got some rare fossils in there as well that we're going to be using. And then for the crystals, I mean, I've got 2 crystals we can use. Ah, okay, it's all about how much logic skill we have. But once we get to logic level 5, you can see Natalie can now collect fossil samples and analyze them under a microscope, which will get us the fossil print. And when we get to level 8 of the logic skill, Natalie can now collect crystal samples and analyze them under a microscope. Oh, fantastic. So I've got my crystal here. I've just put it out in the world. If I click on it, we've got collect microscope sample. I'm also going to do the same for a fossil. We've got the fossilized egg collect microscope sample. And we've found Snowfight. Okay. Let's have a look at Snowfight. Oh, that's really pretty. This is the one from the crystal. And that does look very crystal-like, doesn't it? Oh, we got leaf meat this time from the fossil. Oh, that one. Oh, okay. Oh, this one. I don't really like this one as much. It's kind of, oh, it's a bit trypophobia-like. I'm sorry, let me get it off the screen. If you also have issues with clusters of holes, it's just uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. We've just got a print just from Natalie using the microscope on her own. I wonder what print it is. Party in Pink. Okay, let's have a look at Party in Pink then. Ooh, that kind of looks like the fibers of muscle and like something traveling through like veins or something. I don't know. I'm not a biology expert at all. I don't know anything. I did not take biology in school because I sucked at science. So, whoops, my bad. I know nothing. But yeah, that's interesting. Fascinating. Alright, the next collectible on the list is space prints. So space prints are found by using the observatory telescope. And now this is the print that we found out of this world style. It's very pretty. We have this great big telescope. If we come in here and observe the sky, after a while we're gonna get prints. There is nothing extra that we can do to determine the rarity of the prints. We've just got to go through and hopefully she's just going to discover all of these prints on her own. So we're going to get Natalie to go in there and observe the sky and see what prints we can find.
A few moments later.
There we go. We got this message to say, congratulations, a collectible print of the sky has been added to Natalie's inventory. And it has star-crossed lovers. Let's take a look. Wow, that is so pretty. So you can hang these in your home, just like you can with the microscope prints. You can use them as art in your home. And you'll see at the bottom of this listing, it says focusing decor 4. So if you want your sim to be in a focused mood, you can place this in your house and it's going to help them with being in a focused mood. So this takes a long long time. Obviously, you've just got to have your sim be using this over and over and over and over and over again. It's going to gain the logic skill quite nicely for them, but it is going to take a lot of time to find all of these space prints. But another one has just been added to our inventory, and it is Seeing Red. Let's take a look. Oh, that's really pretty. That's like a sunrise or a sunset. I'm not entirely sure. The next collectible on the list is Aliens. And you might be like, huh? Excuse me? Aliens? Yes. Now this is separate to the Sims 4 aliens that come with Get to Work, where you can actually create an alien sim and live as an alien in the Sims. This is not like that. This is very similar to the Frogs collection, where we're gonna find little alien critters that are gonna be in tanks, okay? So it says aliens are found by going to space in the rocket ship. Actually, I'm not even just going to talk about the aliens collection right now. I'm also going to talk about the Space Rocks collection as well, because Space Rocks are also found by going to space in the rocket ship. So there's 4 different Space Rocks here. We have the potential to find 1 of 10 aliens or 1 of 4 rocks when we do this same interaction, which is exploring space with the rocket. That's all we need to do. You build the rocket, which takes a lot of time and 1,000 simoleons, but once you've built the rocket, just pressing explore space, we're going to have the ability to either find a space rock or an alien, or maybe crash your ship. We just have to wait and see, because we're going to have a special opportunity pop up when we go into space. Here we go. Turbulence ahead. Natalie carefully guides the rocket into orbit over a small alien world, but it's clear right away that something is wrong. Ionic interference in the planet's thermosphere is causing havoc with the ship's primary systems. Natalie decides to attempt an emergency landing, which is smart since she has no other choice. Attempt landing. Now, we may not get an alien or a space rock. There is a chance that we are not going to get anything by exploring space, which is why it can be a bit frustrating, because you've just got to try over and over and over again, and eventually you're probably going to get the same story pop-ups with no result of an alien or a space rock. I've done that before. I'll link that video as well. I had to try and complete the aliens collection, and it was a struggle. I struggled through it. So I'll link that video down below as well. But here we go. Repairs needed. Well, this is going not great. Natalie's ship crashes spectacularly into the surface of the planet. According to the damage diagnostic, the ship won't be safe to fly until Natalie can replace the catalyzer on the port compression coil. It's a nothing part until you don't have one. Natalie steps out of her ship and begins the search. Ooh, what are we gonna find? Alien landscape. To the east, a jagged series of rocks stabs upward toward the alien sky. It looks like a cross between a mountain range and a pile of shrapnel. Natalie can see a lone curl of smoke rising from one of the peaks. To the west, the valley looks much easier to traverse, but there are no obvious signs of life. Both have their pros and both have their cons, and which one do I choose? I do not know. I'm gonna maybe head west, which is the easier to traverse, but there are no obvious signs of life, because we might find something anyway. Uh-oh. Ouch! After wandering for a very long time, Natalie discovers a wrecked ship similar in structure to hers. There's even a part that could possibly replace the catalyzer. Unfortunately, when Natalie pulls it free, the wreckage shifts and a piece of jagged metal leaves a deep cut in her side. Better get to the ship quickly. Okay, I'm sorry, but we found the part that you needed, which is great. The beast! Natalie staggers toward her ship, one hand dragging the catalyzer, the other gripping the wound in her side. It's not far now, but Natalie Bullock suddenly hears a low growl. A very large creature has crept up behind her. It's a mad dash to the safety of the ship. Then again, the catalyzer has a good heft, could be used as a weapon, but we need it to get back home. If I strike the beast, it could injure it, but it could also break the catalyzer. Whereas if I run, that's just running. It could catch up and eat me though. But I need the catalyzer. I'm just gonna run. I think I'm just gonna run. This is gonna be bad. I can already tell this is gonna be really bad. Natalie, you legend. Natalie dives into the ship and snaps the door shut seconds before the beast slams into the rocket's side. Safely inside the ship, Natalie can dress her wounds and effect the needed repairs to the port compression coil. It's time to head home. We've got something. We got a dead space porcupine. This is an alien, a dead space porcupine. Let's take a good look at it, right? Oh yeah, it's definitely dead, right? That is one of the aliens that we can collect as a part of this whole thing. That's exciting! It's a bit of a process, like you've just seen. That whole great big pop-ups was just to get one alien. There's 9 more aliens and there's some that are rare, right? So I'm not gonna go through it over and over again. It can be quite a process. You're in for a long haul if you're trying to collect the aliens. But I do want to try and collect the space rock, so I'm going to have to do it again until we get a space rock, right?
One journey through space later.
A lush planet. Bleep bleep. Natalie's rocket ship has detected an unexpected object on the horizon. As she gets closer, she can't believe her eyes. Green, billowy treetops, crystal blue streams. Could it be? The mystical lush planet. Natalie switches off her turbo boosters as she breaks through the planet's atmosphere. Attempt landing. Where to land? Cruising slowly now, Natalie glides over miles and miles of thick jungle. At last, a clearing, but the clearing seems to be cluttered with alien ruins. Should she land there anyway, where there's less chance of crashing, or opt for the dense, dark cover of the jungle? Ooh, risk getting discovered, risk crashing. Oh, I guess we're gonna land near the ruins, because it says less chance of crashing. If we land here, we can get out easily, right, if we're detected. So let's land near the ruins, I reckon. Ruins of an alien civilization. Phew, Natalie's rocket ship lands without a scratch, and so far, no aliens are running out to greet her. Natalie wanders into a half-collapsed temple, which seems to have been constructed of massive porous rock. Like space rocks, that'd be great. More strange space rocks are scattered about, along with a beautiful sacrificial bowl and other religious artifacts. Should she bring an artifact home for analysis? Yes, she should. Please take the artifact. We're gonna get discovered now. We're gonna have to mad dash back to the rocket ship, but could it be a space rock that we've found? That's what I want to know. Uh-oh, not so smooth exit. The instant Natalie picks up a talisman, the ground starts rumbling. It's a trap, I should have known. Covering her head, she bolts from the temple just as the walls give way. She makes it to her ship and manages to get it airborne, but the ship has suffered critical damage. How did it get damaged from the temple falling? I don't know. Anyway, although Natalie got her artifact, this is going to be a rough landing. Oh my god, are we about to have a crash in the spaceship? But if it's at the cost of a space rock, I'm going to be really happy about it. We got a space rock. Okay, I'm happy about it. And we also got a dead blue slug as well. Fantastic. So hold on, before we even land, I'm going to have a look at what these are. So here is our dead blue slug. It's looking very slug-like, right? Fascinating. And then we've got a common space rock, this tiny little space rock. So this is the common one. There are bigger ones. There's another 3 space rocks and they are all vary in size. This is the smallest one. Totally fine though, because we found a space rock. That's so good. Now, are we going to crash our spaceship? Let's find out. I have really bad luck with the rocket ship, right? Every single time I have ever used the rocket ship, it's resulted in a crash landing. But we got our space rock and we got some aliens. So that's how you gain the aliens and the space rocks. There is potential of having your rocket crash, in which case you have to build it all over again. So it does take a lot of time to get the alien collection. Not as much time for the space rocks because there's only 4 of them. All right, the next collectible on our list is fish. So we have actually already caught 6 out of 22 fish, but fish are found, shockingly, by fishing. Very accurate, right? So the fish that we have already found are a koi, we found a minnow, we found a perch, we found a kissing gourami, a betta, and an angelfish. So we found some uncommon fish, 3 uncommon fish, and 3 common fish. There's also some rare fish to get. We can go fishing in certain places. Generally in the world you're living in, if you look around, there'll be a fishing spot somewhere. This is like the only world in Oasis Springs that does not have a fishing spot anywhere. But that's totally fine. If you don't have a fishing spot in the world around you, you can go to the park. I would specifically recommend going to one park in particular though, and that is the Desert Bloom Park in Oasis Springs, because the Desert Bloom Park has the ability to catch rare fish, okay? So if we come to the park, we have the option to fish in the pond, like I mentioned, and that is an adequate place to catch fish. You'll catch some fish that you need for the collectibles, right? But if we head back towards the back of the lot, you'll see that we have this fishing sign here in front of this glistening, gleaming pool of water. If you see the glistening in the water, it means that that's a place where you can catch rare fish. And I did mention before that you can catch the cowplant berry fishing as well. This is probably a great place to catch the cowplant berry. This is where I caught it last time. It is going to get to a point with the fishing collection where you're going to catch all the common fish and you will have progressed a fair bit in your fishing skill. The higher the fishing skill, you're going to have more fish be unlocked. Like with fishing skill level 2 that we got, Bob can now catch bass, koi, and trout from fishing spots that contain them. But with the higher fishing skill, you're going to have more fish be able to be caught to begin with. But then also there's going to be some fish that are going to require bait to be caught. Now for using bait, I can show you in a second. Oh, we just caught another treasure chest though. What did we get in that one? Is it a cowplant berry? That'd be amazing. It is a cowplant berry. Look at that fish that she caught. Did you see that? That was a rainbow fish. But I have just bought Natalie here as well. I'm going to get her to fish with bait. She's going to be able to catch some different kinds of fish with bait. So fishing with bait, I highly recommend if you've got a garden at your home or even just going to the plants that are available in the park and picking some flowers and stuff, because you can use produce as bait. And it's quite easy to get the produce, right? So I'm going to get her to use the strawberries that she's got in her pocket. Natalie just caught a toy. And see, this is the thing with fishing. You catch fish, obviously, but there's the ability to catch things like roses that we caught earlier, the cowplant berry, a toy. You can also, I think, catch a treasure map, which will lead you to the rare MySims trophies. With reaching fishing skill level 4, Bob will have a better chance of reeling in treasure while fishing, which is interesting. He can also catch catfish and tilapia. With fishing level 6, Bob can now catch rainbow fish from fishing spots where they are found. Well, we know that they're found here. I saw someone catch one before. That's fantastic. Let's see if we can catch one then. I'm going to get him to fish with bait this time because he's now got some chrysanthemums he can use to fish with. So go and do that, Bob. See if you can catch a rainbow fish.
24 hours later.
Bob just caught a violin for 425 simoleons. I'm going to sell that, thank you. My goodness. We caught a rainbow fish and I missed it because I got sent a text message, so I looked at that. But we found a rainbow fish. Let's take a look at the rainbow fish then, because that one is a rare one. I'm stoked with that. Contrary to popular belief, following a rainbow fish will not lead you to a pot of goldfish. So I actually caught this one using a catfish as bait. Wow, stoked with that. There are guides that you can look up on the internet as to what bait you're going to need to use to catch what fish and where, because like I said, some locations are going to have specific fish that you can't find anywhere else. Like going to these hidden spots, they're going to have fish that you can't find anywhere else. So it's worth just taking a look at what you can get from around your home, from the parks in your neighborhood, and if you can take the time to do what's needed to go to these secret locations, it's well worth it. The fishing skill is definitely a fun one to gain. We have well and truly made our way down the list, but now we're going to look from decorative eggs onwards. I have some unfortunate news. There's some that you're not going to be actually able to find in the world. There's some that you're going to have to access through the debug menu. And again, I'm really sorry to mention that because it would be so cool if we could just find them out and about in our dig piles and stuff, but let's talk about it. So we're going to start with the decorative eggs, right? It says eggs can be found in various hiding places during certain spring months. Now, not long after The Sims 4 was released, just over 10 years ago, there was an Easter related event. It was like an Easter egg hunt and we had to find these eggs. Now, if you have the Seasons expansion pack, you can create a bunny day, which is essentially Easter. I've actually just done it recently from my Occult Baby Challenge. And through that bunny day, you can actually have your Sims go on an egg hunt and find these eggs that way. But in the base game, you cannot find these decorative eggs unless you go into a special menu called the debug menu. So let's talk about the debug menu. The debug menu is where we'll find all of the things that the Sims team use to furnish the world around where our Sims live. For example, things like the landscaping you're seeing, these park benches over the road, even the rock formations you're seeing over here. A lot of Sims creators will use the debug menu when furnishing their homes for different reasons. Firstly, because every single collectible that I have mentioned in this video can be found in the debug menu. So if you don't want to spend the time actually hunting for the collectibles, you just want to have them as a part of your home like immediately, you can find them in the debug menu. For landscaping, you can use the landscaping that the Sims team uses in the world around our homes for free. So how do we get to the debug menu, right? There's a couple of cheats we're going to need to enter. To enter the cheats console, it's what I call it, the cheats console, you're going to go to your keyboard, and this is for PC only. I don't know about console or anything about that. This is just for PC. On your keyboard, you're going to press the Control Shift and C keys at the same time. And then up in the top left corner of the screen, there'll be this white bar. The first cheat you're going to have to type in regardless though is testing cheats with a space and then on. So testing cheats as one word, then a space, and then on. Pressing enter, it now says cheats are enabled. Next one is going to be BB, which stands for build by. So BB dot show hidden objects. All is one word, show hidden objects, right? We're going to press enter on that, and then we're going to go into build by, and we're going to have a look at maybe some decorations. In here, we're going to find all sorts of things. Like you'll see, we've got some of the metals displayed here. We've got some of the elements that you can just get from build by, right? You can see we've got some frogs here, and then you'll see we've got some decorative eggs. I'm just going to get them all and place them all in the world. They're so cute, did I mention? Seriously. We have all of the eggs on the ground. If I get Bob to put all of these eggs in his inventory, I'm pretty sure that counts towards him finding them to complete the collection. We've completed the decorative eggs collection. So a complete collection of decorative eggs, how amazing. An appreciative cotton-tailed mammal is sending a congratulatory reward. So if we now come into our collections here, you'll see the decorative eggs collection has been completed. So once you complete a collection, you'll get a reward for it in the mail. It's generally like a plaque, a commemorative plaque that you can put on the wall saying congratulations, thank you so much for completing this collection. Very cool, but I'm pretty sure with the decorative eggs one, something else gets sent as well. We'll have to wait and see when that comes in the mail. Now, that is the decorative eggs. The next collection is the sugar skulls from the Day of the Dead challenge. I don't even remember what this challenge was. I think it happened before I started playing The Sims 4, but it says sugar skulls are received as gifts from other Sims who are celebrating the Day of the Dead. They can only be acquired during the Day of the Dead challenge. Now, unfortunately, this challenge doesn't exist anymore, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back into build by. These are the sugar skulls here, so again, I'm just going to get them out. You've got to pay 10 simoleons to buy them, but it means we're going to complete the collection. So these are all of the sugar skulls, and again, they're really cool. So we're just going to do the same thing and put them all in our inventory. And there we go, the Sugar Skulls Day of the Dead challenge collection is complete. Now that the full Sugar Skull collection has been acquired, place one of each skull within a Sugar Skull display case to unlock the ability to honor the dead. When this interaction is selected, colorful smoke will spill forth and a unique 10th skull that's gilded and resplendent shall appear. Okay, no worries, let's do that then, because I've never done this before. So I do remember there being a Sugar Skull display case. Here it is. I've always seen this and never known really what it was all about. So let's do that. Let's put them in the case then. Honor the dead by clicking on the display case. And there we go, up the very top. We got Sunny, which is a rare one. Oh, and Bob has the amazing Day of the Dead makeup on. That's incredible. I love it. He got a moodlet for that. Day of the Dead celebrant. Bob has got a bone to pick with the Grim Reaper. Just kidding. They'll probably be best buds if he shows up. Perhaps they'll enthuse over each other's Sugar Skull collections. As long as Bob is a celebrant, he'll have a high chance to successfully plead with the Grim Reaper for another Sim's life and can quickly gain relationship with the Grim Reaper. Fascinating. I've never done that before. So let's have a look at the collection for that one. There we go, all complete there. So that's fantastic. The next collection is the Holiday Cracker Plushies. Now, I have to apologize because this one actually is not base game, but it does come with a pack that is free to download. So I highly recommend checking out the Holiday Celebration pack. I've made a video on it before. I'm going to link that video in the pinned comment down below. So when you get the Holiday Celebration pack, we have these holiday crackers that your Sims can open and there'll be a little plushie inside. There we go. He cracked open the cracker, which we call a bonbon in Australia. So it says, Bob received a special collectible plushie from the holiday cracker. There's also a joke scrawled on a slip of paper. Don't look at the answer. Editing me, cover up the answer. What fruit did the gardener discover when grafting a Christmas tree cutting to an apple tree? Leave your answers in the comments down below before I reveal what the answer is. It's a classic Christmas joke that you would find in a bonbon, honestly. Because the thing with bonbon jokes, sometimes there'll be a great one that'll make you laugh, but most of them are like, ah, and then you move on with your life because it wasn't actually essential. So what fruit did the gardener discover when grafting a Christmas tree cutting to an apple tree? Very topical for this video, by the way, with grafting, but the answer is a pineapple! Ha 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 ha! And then you move on with your life because it wasn't actually that funny. But the plushie that we got was this gorgeous little Meduso gobbler. Very cute. They kind of remind me of like Pokemon or like Furbies, like a mixture of Pokemon and Furbies. Right? That's kind of what they remind me of. So that is the collection that comes with the holiday celebration pack. It is a free pack. Check out the video I've made on it in the pinned comment down below. We're not going to go over any more because it's not a base game collection. The next collection we do have though is the Magic Beans Plant Sim Challenge though. Magic Beans can be found by asking a plant sim for them. Make sure to get the plant sim into an emotion that corresponds with the bean you are looking for. Magic Beans can only be acquired during the Plant Sim Challenge. Now, in 2025, there are ways that we can have plant sims become a thing. I don't know how to do that though. I've never done that before. And the plant sim challenge that it's referring to is no longer a part of the game. So there's 6 beans. Again, through the show hidden objects menu, we're going to be able to find those 6 beans. Here they are after the sugar skulls. So we've got the angry magic bean, the playful magic bean, the sad magic bean, the uncomfortable magic bean, the flirty magic bean, and the confident magic bean. And just like the other ones of this kind, we're going to put them in our inventory, which is going to complete the collection. And there we go, the Magic Beans collection is complete. Congratulations, this household has completed the Magic Bean collection. Now place each of the 6 unique beans into the Magic Plant Sim stump to unlock the water interaction. When this interaction is selected, watch as the mystical Magic Bean portal tree instantly grows before your eyes. I've never done this before, so I don't know what that means. Is this how we're going to have a plant sim? Are you intrigued? I'm intrigued. Yes, I've seen this before and had no idea what it was, right? Just all of this stuff that I'm discovering about this game that has been available for years that I've never even known, right? Let's put the magic bean, the playful bean, the sad bean, the uncomfortable bean, the flirty bean, and the confident bean, and now we can water the stump. I'm sorry, what the hell is this? What do you mean? Well, let's explore the mystical magic bean portal tree. This is cool. The fact that this one and the Day of the Dead Sugar Skull one had extra gameplay tied to it, right? It's really sad that you can't just find these collectibles in and around the world anymore. It's really sad. Bob stepped into the portal expecting darkness, but was instead greeted by a bright, sunny pasture filled with all kinds of flora. A tree stood off to one side, glowing and bearing fruit. Bob plucked a fruit from the tree and immediately found the sunny landscape disintegrate into darkness. Before he knew it, he had stepped out of the tree's portal with something in his pocket. Well, what is it? Forbidden fruit of the plant sim. That's fascinating. So you could eat this fruit and become a plant sim, or you can plant it and grow the forbidden fruit of the plant sim tree of your own. Forbidden fruit's nothing more than a facade. Oh, fascinating. Because there we go. That's the Magic Beans Plant Sim Challenge all completed. I've just realized though, gardening +1. Forbidden fruit of the plant sim is one of the plants that's a part of the gardening collection. So in order to complete the gardening collection, you're going to have to do the magic beans like we've just done and do what we've just done. That's fascinating. All right, the next collection is positivity posters. Positivity posters are given to Sims who complete the positivity challenge aspiration. We do not have a positivity challenge aspiration anymore in the game. So with that being said, I have seen where the positivity posters are. We're going to need another cheat to be able to access them though. So we've already got testing cheats enabled. We've got show hidden objects on. The next cheat we're going to have to enable once we type in Control Shift and C to bring up the cheat console is BB. This is a long one, so bear with me. Ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement. All is one word. Ignore gameplay unlocks entitlement. We press enter on that and it says ignore gameplay unlocks cheat is on. So if I go into the paintings and posters now, because that's where these pictures are, you'll see here we've got all of these. They're like inspirational posters that we have in real life, and they can all be found here in the pictures and posters after enabling those cheats. Oh, there's a cute bear one. There's a pigs might fly one. There's a sea lionicorn. There's Paradise Falls from Up. I love that. Ah, and then they have different frames. So there's the 4 posters just in different frames. Right, I see. So we've got the 4 posters here. Suppose we're going to have to put them in our inventory in order to complete the collection, right? There we go. Positivity Posters collection complete. Congratulations, this household has completed the Positivity Posters collection. Let's take a look then. There we go. All 4 of the Positivity Posters collected. Alright, the next collection is the Freezer Boneys collection. Freezer Boneys can be earned by completing quests in the Reaper's Rewards limited time event. Now, this event happened last October. I'm pretty sure you should be able to find the Freezer Boneys in DEBUG still. I'll be able to because I was here for the event, but if you weren't here for the event, I'm not 100% sure whether you can, but it's worth a look, so let's check it out. You know what Freezer Bunnies look like, right? They're the pink bunnies that the Sims team love, Freezer Bunnies. There's a Boney version that is all about like the Grim Reaper's bones version, so this is the original Freezer Boney. Then there's the Starborn Freezer Boney. There's the Sugar Skull Freezer Boney. There's the Metallic Freezer Boney. There's the Plush Freezer Boney, and I think there's one more. Yes, the glow-in-the-dark Freezer Boney. I'm pretty sure there was only 6. Yes, no worries. So with that being said, now, like all the other ones, we're going to put them in our inventory. And there we go. The Freezer Boneys collection is complete. Fantastic. There we go, all 6 Freezer Boneys there, fantastic. They are essentially just decorative bits and bobs. They don't have any extra gameplay, they're just for show, right? So then there's the Cozy Wreaths Cozy Celebrations event, was another limited time event. This was for Christmas last year, Christmas 2024. We got 4 different wreaths. So again, we're gonna go back into build by. This one should be found in the wall decorations tab, and we've got 4 different wreaths. You'll be able to tell what they are by this special little plumb bob icon. So we've got 4 different ones. We've got this one, we've got this one, we've got this one with the Freezer Bunnies. These are the pink Freezer Bunnies I was talking about, by the way. The Sims team love them. And then this one. These are the 4 wreaths. There they are, that collection complete. Again, no extra gameplay. They're just for decoration, totally fine. And then the last one is the Missing Sim Milk Cartons, which was another limited time event we actually had earlier this year, 2025, was for the celebration of the Sims' 25th birthday. They had a Blast from the Past event, and the Missing Sim Milk Cartons is reminiscent of the Sims 2, I believe. They had missing Sim information on milk cartons in the Sims 2 because Bella Goth went missing in The Sims 2. Iconic Sims lore, by the way. If you don't know the lore behind that, I highly recommend checking out Plum Bella's entire History of series. She goes through all of the lore, and I love it. So you will too, I'm sure. But we did get 6 different characters missing milk cartons that, again, we should be able to find just in the menu here now that we've enabled those cheats. I think they are also in miscellaneous, so let's take a look. All right, we do have Bella Goths. So Bella Goth, Starry-Eyed Stargazer. We've got Pit Beast, Dweller in the Dark. The Pit Beast is from The Sims Medieval. which was a spin-off of The Sims 3, released at the same time as The Sims 3. It was a spin-off all about medieval times, so good. We've got Ginny, former pirate and sheriff, which I believe Ginny is from MySims. Not 100% sure. Looks like a MySims character though. We've got Skip Broke, prolific father, which I believe is from The Sims 2. I'm not an expert on the lore, I should be. We've got Some Sneaky Sim, Not a Raccoon, and this was iconic because this was around the time that we got burglars introduced into The Sims 4. Super iconic. And there should be one more milk icon. Here it is, Emmett Relevant, bow-tied and blue-haired. And Emmett Relevant was all through the Blast from the Past events. Also, Emmett Relevant is from The Sims 3 Into the Future. Fantastic. So those are the 6 milk cartons. Let's put them in our inventory to complete the collection. Fantastic. The Missing Sim Milk Cartons collection is now complete. So let's take a look at that one. There we go. All 6 milk cartons there. So our collections tab is looking a little bit healthier at the moment. But even though we've had a look at all that is entailed with the collections, there's still more that I want to mention. Because remember how I said that with that show hidden objects cheat on, you can find every collectible item? You can. So let's take a look, right? So we've already had a look at the positivity posters, but if we keep scrolling through show all in the decor tab, we're going to find more, right? Because like I mentioned here before are all of the medals on display. We've got fish on display here. We've got some of the elements and even some medals on display. We've got frogs here that you can just get from DEBUG, and if you were to put them in your inventory, it would go towards the collection. We've got some crystals here, some more elements, even some fossils, and some of the MySims trophies you'll be seeing. We've got the postcards here, every single collectible, even like the aliens are here. We can even get a treasure map. If you don't want to be stuck for 2 hours looking for a treasure map, use the show hidden objects to get a treasure map from that menu so that you can find the rare ones that way. We've got some more of the medals, more aliens, more frogs. We've even got like the microscope prints and the space prints are all here. Every single collectible can be found here. So if you don't want to take the time to actually go and find the collectibles yourself, use the testing cheats on cheat and then the bb.show hidden objects cheat, and you'll be able to find all the collectibles the way that we just have.
14 hours later.
Today's mail has been delivered, and today should be a pretty exciting day for the mail. Because we completed 3 collections yesterday, we'll get more of these plaques, but we do have some plaques for completing some of the events. So we've got the Freezer Boney Fanatic. You helped the Grim Reaper research Ambrosia, and along the way you found 6 skeletal sidekicks. Grim sent along this plaque to help commemorate the completion of your Freezer Boney collection. Unfortunately, you weren't able to do that in real time, but it's better than not at all, right, I guess? So then the Festive Wreaths Aficionado, you helped Jasmine Holiday research festive traditions. While you were busy documenting and reporting what you discovered, you unlocked some festive decorations. Jasmine sent this plaque to recognize your achievement of completing the Cozy Wreaths collection. And then we've got Missing, Not Forgotten. Emmett Relevant has taken note of your interest in the missing Sims from the past, and he has bestowed upon you this plaque so that they will not be forgotten. And with that being said, I know we didn't complete everything from all of the collections, right? There's still a lot left to be collected, but there's just so much, right? We completed 7 out of 21 available collections. Before we end this video though, there is one more thing that I want to talk to you about, and that is actually achievements. We talked about all of the physical collections in the world, right? But there's a list of achievements that you can accomplish within The Sims 4, and the list is very extensive. So if you're interested in looking at the different achievements, go into the options menu, which is the 3 dots in the top right hand corner, and then go down to achievements. And it has a list of all of the achievements. We're literally looking at all of them right now. It just goes on and on and on and on. And from what I've seen, one of the achievements is even having 10 generations of Sims. Here we go. Legacy Leader, have 10 households in the world that have been played for 10 generations or more. Play a household for 10 generations or more. Play a household for 100 generations or more. That would take years. Even on short lifespan, that would take years. Oh my goodness gracious. But I mean, if you're up for the challenge, It's all there. It'll tell you how to achieve all of these achievements if that's something you would be interested in. We did achieve Splice of Life. We unlocked a new plant type through grafting. Go us in this video. Fantastic. But guys, that's all I've got for this video of looking at all of the collections in the Sims 4 base game and how to complete them. I hope this video was very helpful and informative for you guys if you would be interested in obtaining these collectibles for yourself. And with that being said, if you would like to see more of me, there's going to be one more Sims 4 for beginners video. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. With that being said, if you would like to see that video or any other of my Sims content that I've got coming your way, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Professional Simmers, if you're here, can you leave any tips that I forgot to mention in this video on collecting the collectibles only for the base game? We're not talking about any other expansion packs or any other collections that came with those, only for the base game. If you know of anything I forgot to mention, leave it in the comments down below, and if you're a new player and you have questions, ask it in the comments down below. But guys, I hope you're having the greatest day ever, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!